And I would like to introduce my dear friend, John, who I have the pleasure of doing so many things with. And he is such a friend to our Sangha. He is such a friend to our Sangha and does so many things. He's a OI member. He is part of the Caretaking Council for the Earth Holders. He's a Dharma teacher, and he has developed some beautiful practices for us as Earth Holders. Offers days of mindfulness for Earth Holders, and offers so much more to our community, including being part of the Dharma Teacher Caretaking Council and Arise, and probably a million more things. So one more technological update, which is for those on the phone, you can press *6 to unmute yourself or to remute yourself. So if you're on the computer, you simply go to the bottom left corner, there's a mute button. If you're on the phone, you do *6. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to John. Thanks so much, John.
Dear Ty, dear friends, can everyone hear me? Can you give a thumbs up? Am I coming through? Good, thanks. It's wonderful to see all your faces. Some of you I know, and hello to you. And I'm glad to share this hour with people I don't know also. We'll start with a meditation this morning, and then we'll do a little guided meditation as sort of the talk part. We'll be followed up by some Dharma sharing, for those of you who have been on the online Sangha. And then at the end, we'll have a chance to introduce ourselves very briefly. So I'd like to start with a short couple paragraphs from Ty in the book, The World We Have. So if you could wouldn't mind closing your eyes, and I'll invite 3 sounds of the bell. From our teacher, our planet Earth has a variety of life, and each species depends on all the others in order to be able to manifest and continue. We're not only outside of each other, but we're also inside each other. It is very important to hold the Earth in our arms and in our heart to preserve the beautiful planet and protect all species. The Lotus Sutra mentions the name of a special bodhisattva, Dharamdimdara, or Earth Holder, as someone who preserves and protects the Earth. Earth Holder is the energy that is holding us together as an organism, a kind of engineer or architect whose task is to create space for us to live in, to build bridges for us to cross from one side to the other, to construct roads that we can go to the people we love. The task is to further communicate between human beings and other species and to protect the environment. All of us are Earth Holders. We should help create a new chapter for her because Earth Holder is so desperately needed in this era of globalization. So we'll enjoy just sitting contemplating Ty's words, contacting our breath, relaxing the body, cell by cell, opening and softening. Just easing into this moment as best we can. Breathing in, I'm aware that I'm alive. Breathing out, I smile. Just returning to the soft pillow of the breath. As we're breathing, we're sitting in awareness that we're sitting with people from all over the country, all over the continent, maybe other countries. People caring about our Mother Earth. We're not alone. We never have been alone. This is a wonderful manifestation of that reality. Well, dear friends, just take a minute in gallery view to scroll through and look at our fellow Earth holders here on the screen. Wave to each other. Hi, everybody. Wonderful to see you. Oh, more people have joined us, about 50 people on the call. I see some babies, some animals. We're all here. I'm currently in the Boston area. It's a gray, overcast day here. Very cool. But I grew up in the Pacific Northwest near Seattle, Bremerton, Washington, a little town right on the Puget Sound. And when I was 14, I built a kayak and would go out and float for hours. I had my little transistor radio, and I would listen to early rock and roll music in the 1950s and watch the seagulls and look at the Mount Rainier was down at the end of the bay, ninth highest mountain in the world. And Douglas fir lined all the little narrow roads in my county. And I had a willow tree in my yard, and whenever it got kind of ugly in my house because of conflict and drinking and things like this in my family, I would climb up this tree, which I thought was huge at the time. It was only about 12 feet high, but to me, it was like huge. Whoops. And everything was okay. I felt the peacefulness of it. So I'd like to share with you a practice called Beginning Anew with Mother Earth. And I'd like to start with an actual poem by Meister Eckhart, who's a 13th, 14th century philosopher and mystic Christian tradition. And I think I really like this. It's called When I Was the Forest. When I was the stream, when I was the forest, when I was still the field, when I was every hoof, foot, fin, and wing, when I was the sky itself, no one ever asked me, did I have a purpose? No one ever wondered, was there anything I might need? For there was nothing I could not love. It was when I left all we once were that the agony began. The fear and the questions came. And I wept, and tears I'd never known before. So I returned to the river. I returned to the mountains. I asked for their hand in marriage again. I begged to wed every object and creature. And when they accepted, God was ever present in my arms. I just think this poem expresses so well what's happened to us, how we become separated from our true home, our true relationship to our natural being. And, you know, Thai has given us a beautiful practice. Many of us have practiced the beginning anew. When our relationships get frayed, when we need to refresh them, we have this beautiful practice. Well, our relationship to Mother Earth in the recent period has been quite frayed, quite troubled. And we know that we need to renew it. So I've adapted this practice to name it Beginning Anew with Mother Earth. I want to acknowledge right here, I know some of us would rather have a gender neutral term for Mother Earth. I'm using it consciously for two reasons. One, our teacher Thai uses the phrase Mother Earth, and I'd like to honor that. And secondly, for me, using the term mother in evokes a kind of closeness and connection and intimacy that I think it's important to nourish and nurture in us. So this is I first did this in pairs, so one person would listen and represent Mother Earth, and the other would speak to Mother Earth. And there are going to be 4 rounds here. We'll do it as a guided meditation. We'll send out the write-up of this afterwards, so you can have it and use it in your own Sangha, and I would encourage you to try it in pairs maybe. But we'll do it, since there's many of us on the call here, we'll do it as a guided meditation. And then we'll have Dharma sharing afterwards. So if you wouldn't, if you'd mind just closing your eyes. Again, I'm going to invite 3 sounds of the bell. I'm not sure how clearly it comes through over the electronic system, but so with your eyes gently closed, if it feels comfortable, imagine yourself in one of your favorite places in natural beauty. It may be in your past, it may be in life. It could be in the woods or in the mountains, by water, in a meadow, on a farm. It might be in the backyard, or a pocket park, or a rooftop in the city. Some specific place that you love and you've been nourished by. Some place that lets you feel awe or peace or reverence. And take yourself to that spot in your mind's eye. While resting in this refuge, let's begin anew with Mother Earth. There's going to be a few parts to this, and there'll be a bell in between. So first we practice appreciating Mother Earth, or as Ty puts it, flower watering. So you might begin by thanking Mother Earth for this specific place that you're resting in right now. Telling her what this place means to you. Offering gratitude. Then in your own way, begin telling Mother Earth what you love about her, expressing gratitude for her infinite creativity and bounty. You may like to tell her about one place or species or season or natural element, or maybe many, many. And as you talk with her, it's possible that deep emotions are fairly close to the surface, might come up unexpectedly, because our love and gratitude for the natural world are immense. So as much as possible, welcome those feelings. It's part of healing our relationship. So we might use some gathas in these different parts. Breathing in, speaking to Mother Earth. Breathing in, I thank you for, and name the specific element, element by element. Breathing out, I feel gratitude. The second part, continuing to rest in this place, is practicing beneficial regrets. So again, in your mind's eye and dialogue with Mother Earth, tell her what you are sorry for. Ask for her forgiveness. Begin with yourself. Maybe, like me, you were a child who pulled the legs off insects. Maybe you chopped down trees just for fun. Maybe now in your current life you feel you drive your car too much or don't recycle diligently or aren't vegan or not active enough in helping reverse global warming. And then as time allows, you might express regrets for the collective ways that we humans have harmed Mother Earth. And again, sharing our love, like sharing our love for the Earth, expressing sorrow for how the Earth has been harmed, can also bring up strong feelings. So as best we can, we embrace them all. You might like to use the gatha, breathing in, I'm sorry I hurt you by, and be very specific. Breathing out, I feel your pain. The third part, again, staying in contact with Mother Earth as best we can, either consciously or just below the surface. We all have deep feelings about what's happening to the planet and its creatures. The Nature Conservancy estimates that by the end of the century, half of all creatures will be extinct. It's heartbreaking to contemplate that. We have huge pockets of grief and fear, anger, confusion, all of these, right alongside the love that we have of Mother Earth. And we know that the natural world is suffering deeply. And we sometimes feel powerless or despairing, overwhelmed by the immensity of it all. And when we're in touch with our love for the earth, often those feelings of despair and fear and anger are also closer to the surface. So our practice asks us, rather than to avoid or deny them, to really embrace them, to look deeply at those feelings of how we're hurting in relation to what's happening in the world. So in this step of the practice, as best we can, open your heart to Mother Earth and share with her your feelings about what's happening to her. Just talk to her. As best you can, let your heart break open. Soften to the despair and the grief or the fear that might be there. You might like to use the gata, breathing in, I feel, and name the emotion. I feel about what is happening to you, dear Mother Earth. Breathing out, I hold my feelings like a baby. Well, the next part of the practice is, as in a relationship, after we shared how much we love and how much we're sorry, and shared how much we are hurting ourselves, the next thing we naturally want to do is make amends. So in this step, in your mind, talking to Mother Earth, express to her what you commit to do to help make things better, to help heal, to help change your behavior to a more loving relationship. It might be in relation to a specific place or creature or element, and it can be small or large, it doesn't matter. It's our personal. This is different than what we'll do, collectively. This is our personal making amends. So breathing in, I promise from this day forward to, and then try to be as specific as you can about some way that you will help heal. So breathing in, I promise from this day forward to, and then, and breathing out, I honor our relationship. One last piece in our guided meditation. As you sit with Mother Earth, see if she lifts into your consciousness a special name in honor of your beginning anew, as to mark your kind of our rebirth, or as an earthling, if you will. Maybe some things in the past people have come up with as true warrior of the earth, protector of the woods, true gentle steps. And maybe nothing comes right now, but we'll just sit for about 3 minutes and let Mother Earth speak to you. fruit of our practice benefit all beings and the earth. Thank you all.